everyone, Jake here for American Muscle, and in this video we're taking a look at the C&L adjustable bump steer kit fitting 1994 to 2004 Mustangs. Bump steer can be a big problem on the SM95, especially if you're hitting the track or if you live somewhere with not so great roads. And this is an easy way to get rid of that bump steer issue. Especially if you've lowered your car, this is a simple way to make it handle better for not a lot of money. In the event you're not familiar with the term, bump steer refers to a change in the toe angle as your suspension loads up. So when your front suspension moves up and down, it causes a change in the angle of your wheels. So they can kind of dip in toward the front or dip out a little bit as well. Now this problem can be exacerbated when you're cornering, especially when there's a bump during that corner. You hit a bump and the car naturally is gonna steer, hence the name. It's a natural side effect of independent front suspension, but it can be a big problem, especially if you've changed the ride height of your car. So though it happens and no car will truly ever have zero bump steer, it's still not good. It can cause the front end to become unstable, and let's be honest, nobody wants that. This is all about geometry. And even though that was not my strongest subject in school, I can point you to a way to get your car to bump steer as little as possible. And that's a long way to explain what we've got in this kit from C&L. So what we have here are effectively a set of outer tie rods. Now these are a different height than your stock ones, and they're also adjustable. So they alter the suspension geometry just enough that you won't get that jerk of the wheel or an unsettled feeling when you hit a bump. These are going to be a bit shorter than normal, and thus they work well with a lowered carb. These are also fully adjustable. So not only can you adjust them up and down, you can also adjust them in and out. So if you need extra length, or you need a shorter height, or you need a shorter length one, you can get these dialed in exactly as you want. As you can see here, they come with a bunch of shims, so it's really easy to just take this off, pop it out, put a shim on, and get it the way that you need it. So again, they're adjustable for both length and height. It makes you be able to get everything dialed in the way that you want. Now it's especially great not just for a daily driver, but also if you're planning on hitting the track. Now, as you might have noticed too, you also get a set of spherical bearings in place of typical ball joints. These are stronger and they've got even less play in them, so you'll experience more positive steering response in addition to the much more accurate and crisp handling. Now these are constructed from aluminum on these sleeves right here, and you've got steel for the rest of it, so they're plenty sturdy for this application. The aluminum is anodized this really nice blue, which I'm a big fan of this color. It's almost a shame you're not going to see it once it's on the car. And that, combined with the spherical bearings here, which are going to be much more durable than regular ball joints, means that these should really last you a good long while. Pricing for this kit comes in at about $125, making this about the most affordable bump steer kit on the market. But the quality here is good, and the difference it can make for your driving experience is well worth the price of entry, made all that much better by the fact that you don't have to spend a fortune to get it. When it comes to installation, we're going to give this kit a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you around 2 hours to complete. Now these are going to go right in place of your factory tie rod ends, so no modifications are needed to your car. However, this is going to take a little bit of doing to get it on. You may have to fight to get those original ball joints out. If you've ever done that before, my condolences, you know what I'm talking about. And you're also going to need to take time to adjust them properly. Now, what we would recommend is get a professional alignment done afterwards, get all that stuff adjusted, even if you can handle the actual installation yourself. That's the part where you can save some money and then go get that alignment done. All that said though, let's head on out to the shop now and we'll walk you through the installation process.
For this install, you will need an impact, a ratchet, an adapter if necessary, an extension, 18, 19, and 15/16 sockets, a 21mm wrench, 7/8 and 15/16 wrench, needle nose pliers, a hammer, and also not shown here is a jack and jack stand. What's up guys, today we're going to be installing a bump steer kit on our Mustang, so let's get started. Alright guys, so we've got the car in the air, we've got the wheels off, and the first thing we're going to do is pop loose our retainer nut for our tie rod. So we're going to grab a 21mm wrench. Now we've already soaked this down with some penetrating lubricant. Definitely want to do that just to help things go along a little bit easier. So we'll crack that nut loose first, and then we'll go on. You might need to work this back and forth a little bit. Get it to pop loose. Bring that back just enough to where it doesn't interfere with your tie rod. Next, we can get our castle nut for our tie rod off. We're going to have to remove the cotter pin first. So we've got needle nose pliers. We'll get that straightened out a bit. Work this cotter pin out. Now we can remove our castle nut with our 18mm socket and extension on our impact. Get that off. So now that we've got our castle nut off, we're actually going to grab that and put it back on a couple threads. Then we need to unseat our tie rod from our knuckle. So we're going to grab a ball peen hammer, give it some taps on the knuckle. You want to be very careful when doing this not to hit your dust shield or damage your boot or anything like that. If you're replacing it, you might not care, but it's good to keep it in good condition. And once we have that unseated, unscrew our castle nut. You may need to work your steering around a little bit, get this to come out. And we'll pop that out. Now we can unscrew our tie rod. Now once you've got this side off, you can repeat these same steps for the other side. Now we can begin installing our bump steers kit. So we're going to start by getting this threaded onto our factory inner tie rod. We'll do that now. Get this threaded on to our factory end. Now we are going to use our factory nut location as it came off our original tie rod as a reference. So this was a couple of threads back. We'll get it close. Bring that nut forward. And you also have an adjustment on this end as well. What we're going to do, get this nut off. We'll get this seated into our knuckle. So we'll get this lined up. Again, you may have to turn your knuckle a bit. If you notice this dust shield here, you may have to trim it at home. We're going to get ours in place like so. Get our nut installed. We'll get this side tightened down. So now we'll grab our 19mm socket on our ratchet and a 7/8 wrench. Tighten down our tie rod. So this kit is fully adjustable. Now it comes with shims that you can install to raise or lower your tie rods to give you a more equal geometry in your steering based on how up or down your suspension is, whether you have coilovers or whatever. We have a stock setup, so we're going to keep ours close to a stock geometry. So we're going to put all our shims on the bottom side. Now if you're going lower or more aggressive, you could also drop this down and put shims above this. This will come off of the whole shaft. So we'll install our shims. We'll pop this nut off. Get our shims on. Again, these are just going to be set up for demonstration purposes. You can configure this to your specific application. We'll get our nut in place. We'll tighten this nut down. Now we'll tighten this down. We're going to use our 19mm socket again to hold this top nut. And we'll use our 15/16 socket to tighten this down. All right, so once you have everything in place, the adjustment on these for your toe angle is going to be right here. And we have retainer nuts on both sides for this one, your factory one here, this new one here. So this spinning one way or the other will pull your toe in or out. And once you have your adjustment set, you want to set both of your nuts. Get this one snug Get our factory one snug. Then you're going to need a 15/16 wrench to tighten down your new side adjuster nut. Now one thing you'll notice is the dust shield is pretty close to this bottom mounting nut. Now you might want to trim this back at home if you desire. It really doesn't hit it, but probably wouldn't be a bad idea. We're not going to do that for demonstration purposes. So now once you've got everything done on this side, you can repeat the same process for the other side. And you definitely want to go get an alignment or configure this how you are going to have it in your specific way once you're done. Alrighty guys, that about wraps up our review and install of our C&L adjustable bump steer kit for your 94 to 04 Mustang. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.